I just want to quickly preface this video by saying persistence pays off. Until the last 15-20 minutes, we finally put it together and it went down. Stick around, watch the entire video to see that process of trial and error I went through throughout the morning, or jump right to the end and see what ends up happening. Check it out. Good morning, friends. It is Nick Mulbauer here, and this morning we are going to try to knock out another big crappie day. I've been here for a little bit, got out a little later than I wanted, but we have cloud cover, we got some thick fog, and that usually helps the bite hold on a little longer into the day. So like I said, we've been out here fishing for a little bit. I pulled a couple good whites out of the water, a couple good white crappie, and we'll backtrack and I'll show you those catches. We're headed to our next spot. The first spot was kind of slow. Did not see much forage on that brush pile, so we're gonna see what's going on at this next spot. We'll get over there, drop some buoys, mark that cover, and see what's living down there. Stay tuned. Another beautiful white crappie. That's probably a 12-inch white right there. The bites are very few and far between. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to give those fish a variety of things to try. And I'm trying to figure out if anything will get me more strikes than what I am currently using. So I'm just fishing around, trying to find something that these fish will enjoy more than what I'm already dropping. Not doing any one thing for too long. I want to figure out what catches fish. Today is a day of pure experimentation. I'm bouncing brush pile to brush pile, going from one to the next, back to the one, back to the next. In my head, it gives those fish a break. And hopefully while I'm off the brush pile, it allows new fish to move in later in the day. So I just move a lot and I experiment a lot. One other thing that I always do is I always try to just persevere no matter how difficult the bite gets. I try to just stick with it because I never know when that bite will pick up, or when a switch will turn and the bite will all of a sudden be great, or I'll find a lure that they really prefer that day. When I'm out here on these tough days, I just switch things up often. Knew it. What I'm doing is I'm letting this jig drop all the way to bottom, swimming it fast up to the surface almost. There's another one. We got him figured out. Check it out. That is a pattern. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe how this is happening. What is happening right now? Look at this. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it. Yeah. Letting that jig drop all the way to bottom, swimming it all the way to top. That jig is dropping up and down, going up 4 or 5 feet, guys, and those fish are chasing it. What a beaut. What a beautiful fish, guys. That's probably a 14, 15-inch class fish again. Big crappie. We win. Amazing. See you later, buddy. Wow. On the hair jigs, guys. The hair jigs are getting those fish going. I said I was gonna fish till 11:30 and it is going down in the last 15-20 minutes. Unreal. Unreal. Let's head home, talk about it, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. That was one heck of an interesting pattern, friends. I would let that bait drop all the way to bottom, and then I'd lift it, pause, lift. That bait would go up 4, 5, 6 feet. That hair jig would make it almost to the surface of the water sometimes when those fish would hit it. I didn't know where my jig was at in the water column. What ended up happening was when I would drop that bait back down, when it went to the very top, I'd see my line go slack. So I know a fish had picked it up, and then I would set the hook. That big one I caught, that second big one, is a great example of that. Rewind the footage and check that out again. Look at how I lift, drop my line, and it's just as limp. That is how I know that big fish
picked up that lure and I set the hook on that fish. A very interesting bite. It was so interesting to experience and take advantage of. And that is something I'm gonna log and do again when I end up in a similar situation like that. If I can look back on this footage and think of anything as to why these fish were behaving like that, I think it's because of how the forage were set up around the cover. Generally, I can always go to a brush pile and I can catch them pretty well there. That's why I vertical jig wood. It is very, very effective in most cases. But this day, one of the brush piles had zero forage around it. The other brush pile was inundated with forage. There was so much forage that some parts of the day that forage would come through and I couldn't tell where the cover stopped and where the bait fish started because they were so thick in there. It was just a cloud of shad. And that makes it very difficult to make your lure distinguished from all those bait fish. Those crappie probably can't even see your hair jig in a cloud of shad. So by lift, pause, lift, 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 I was getting a reaction strike out of those crappie, I believe, instead of just dangling it in front of those fish and annoying the heck out of them. I think that is why those fish were biting that way, that day, that hour, that time. It is such a in-the-moment thing catching fish. You just gotta keep trying. Persistence pays off. Never give up. Just keep fishing, keep going, because that morning I fished for I think 4 hours, and for 3.5 of those 4 hours I was just grinding. One here, one there. And then we figured it out. We figured out the temperament of those fish. We figured out how to make our lure look different and get those fish to engage. That's all I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you dig the content, and I will see you soon. Get out there, catch yourself some. Ask questions if you have any, and I would love to answer them. Peace.
No. Oh. There's the big hybrid, guys. Look how I caught him. That's how my line got hung up there, setting the hook on that big boy. They're just, I don't know. That's the big one of the day, folks. That's my 14-inch class fish on a hair jig, white hair jig right there. Big crappie. That's the one of the day, folks. That's how we'll seal her off. Probably can go home on that note. Beautiful fish, get him back. Oh, we did it. A long day experimenting. Failure, failure, failure. Trying many different things. Trying things over and over and over. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Got her done. Look at this. What's going on here? There's a crappie right there. He must be struggling or something. It's weird. Roll the clip. We got the big one of the day, folks. I feel very grateful to have had that happen, because I don't even know how that happened, honestly. Crazy stuff. Got her done. I should not have caught that fish. Malfunction. Equipment malfunction? Crazy.